Hey everyone, my name is Lisa Martinez and this is Module 10, Helping Students Realize Their Learning Norms. In this presentation, I will be introducing the topic, going over the student norms and expectations, breaking this down to see what we as educators can do, and then concluding our time together. So while we often hear of the expectations that schools have of students, we rarely get a chance to hear about the expectations that students have of schools. And these get less attention, but are essential to keeping students engaged and in school. And this is according to Chris Jackson of bigpicturelearning.org. So according to Jackson, schools should ask themselves, do I know about my students' individual interests and talents? Do I help my students understand how learning contributes to our community and the world? Can my students learn things in an order that fits their own learning styles? Do my students have opportunities to tinker and make guesses? And do my students have real choices about what, when, and how to learn and demonstrate their abilities? And student expectations that we saw in the video are relationships, relevance, time, timing, play, practice, choice, authenticity, challenge, and application. Relationships. Students want to feel that they are unique and not merely blending into the crowd. They want their teachers to know about their interests and talents and for them to support their efforts in developing relationships and connections with role models outside of the classroom. What can we do? Most teachers have classes of 20 or more students, and middle and high school teachers typically have well over 100 students in their classes. So it may seem daunting to form a relationship with each student, but if we are intentional, keep notes, and give ourselves time, we will find that it isn't difficult to learn at least one thing about each student. Another strategy is developing questions that make students feel seen. This could be as simple as taking a moment to ask a student about their weekend, if they went to the game last night, what their favorite food is, etc. Giving a student a moment of personal reflection really does go a long way. From a student perspective, the work students complete in the classroom must allow them to create genuine connections to their community and the world around them. Teachers should support students in understanding how they impact their community. And what can we do? If we make a habit of adding a community impact layer to our lesson planning, students will become accustomed to hearing about the connection their efforts can one day have with their community. Teachers can also keep specific student interests in mind or on note cards and weave these connections into direct instruction and projects. Time. As opposed to learning at the pace set by the teacher, students may benefit from learning at their own pace, allowing for both deep and broad learning. What can we do? In order to meet this expectation, teachers could identify the most important standards and focus on depth of knowledge in these areas. If this isn't possible, teachers could add in earlier concepts at a higher depth of knowledge within the subject matter they're covering. Going back and picking up older material and ideas will support students as they form a big picture of what they're learning. Timing. In order to best suit diverse learning styles and interests, some students may appreciate the opportunity to learn concepts in a different sequence than is typically offered. What can we do? Some schools, especially those that are independent and smaller, may be able to accommodate an open format of student learning, according to Jackson, 2016. Regardless of the particular status of a school, in order to meet this expectation, some sort of framework must be established in order to support the individualized learning paths of all students. Play. Students expect opportunities to explore and learn from their mistakes. Outside of the classroom, this is the norm. In traditional schools, students are expected to learn a concept and demonstrate their understanding by way of a performance assessment. Following the performance assessment, the class moves on to the next standard. What can we do? Choice and blended learning are wonderful ways to support this expectation. Students can choose the format in which they best learn and oftentimes collaborate with their peers to support one another's areas of need. Project-based instruction encourages them to express their understanding through an avenue that highlights their individual strengths. Practice. How much time do we devote to acquiring the skills required to succeed in our chosen profession? Do we learn one talent and then move on to the next? Of course we don't. Instead, we participate in the extensive and consistent practice of the skills required to excel in our specific jobs. Students should have the same expectation of schools. What can we do? Expert or Genius projects allow students to do a deep dive into an interest area of their choice. In a traditional school setting, it may not be in the best interest of the student to drill down on every standard in every class. That being said, teachers who know their students' interests can be intentional about incorporating themes or asking higher depth of knowledge questions related to the given content. Once students have chosen a learning path, the classes within their path should roll one concept into the next, thus providing a more authentic learning experience. Choice. Students want to be treated as individuals, and they want their learning to be relevant to their personal experiences and future goals. They want to demonstrate that learning in a way that showcases their unique abilities. What can we do? A cookie-cutter approach does not stir excitement for lifelong learning. When students have a say in their educational path, they are more likely to excel in school and develop a deep curiosity about their interests and how they connect with the world around them. The teacher's knowledge of student interests and use of choice within instruction and assessment supports this norm. Authenticity. Student-produced work should be recognized and valued outside of the school, and the community should be aware of the importance of said work. So what can we do? Schools should provide support for students to participate in events and competitions put on by the city and surrounding places. Promoting this participation through media channels viewable by the community is key to creating connection and interest. The school should support internship and job shadowing opportunities so community members know what is happening in school, how it contributes to efforts outside the school, and how they can get involved. Challenge. Although many students say they want to merely get through school, we know that they crave connection and a creative outlet within their interest set. Schools should not be solely about finishing assignments, but rather it should be challenging, addressing rigorous and significant success criteria and learning outcomes. What can we do? Meeting this student expectation is about differentiating our instruction and providing student support. As we spend more time with students, we will notice who needs extra support academically or socially, who needs to be challenged at a higher level, and the myriad of variables there within. Students are not items fresh off an assembly line, and our instruction should recognize and address their individual needs. Application. Learning should have a practical application and connection to real-world scenarios, projects, and issues. So what can we do? People love stories. Implementing storytelling, weaving together content with authentic stories, exposes students to real life within the context of their studies. Field trips, such as a bank tour during a finance unit, also provide students with the opportunity to experience and imagine instead of having to fabricate everything based solely off what they read or hear from their instructors. Lastly, robust internship programs allow students to experience a career with low risk and oftentimes give students a clear picture of whether or not they would like to pursue that career. In conclusion, we need to prioritize meeting expectations. Meeting student expectations keeps them in school and engaged in their studies. These expectations should be prioritized alongside the school's expectations of students and are essential for every learner required to meet success criteria. Schools should empower students by making them aware of the expectations they should have for their own learning from the start of their educational careers. When students communicate to schools the importance of having expectations and give them examples of how schools can meet said norms, students are empowered to be active participants in the process. In order to achieve positive results and change in the classroom, students and teachers must collaborate, according to Living to Learn 2013. Schools must identify and support students as active participants in their learning who have expectations for their educational careers to enhance their educational success and well-being. While schools provide an ethical framework for individualized and varied instruction, they contribute to developing and modeling professional dispositions, norm support, teamwork, perseverance, reflection, and lifelong learning. This assignment was relevant to me because it made me think about my time as a teacher and how we supported student expectations at the high school level. However, I was further tasked with imagining how primary students could be exposed to the concepts and expectations and empowerment while still learning how to be students. I will continue to think about it and bring it to our CI3T team for consideration and potential hopeful action. Teachers are working hard to engage and keep students interested in their sessions. Most schools and teachers are also mandated to focus on standardized testing. Many districts are data hungry, frequently administering more exams than are required. As an administrator in a large, data hungry district, how do I humanize the student experience and enable students to hold their institutions accountable to these very legitimate standards? There will be a big push for individualized plans of study beginning at the elementary school level in the coming years. I love the idea for students, but I'm concerned that it may encourage more teachers to abandon their careers and discourage pre-service teachers from entering the profession. Giving students a voice in their education and the journey from an early age is critical, though, to a high-quality learning experience.